It's a sunny sun. So I can't even get that out. So how about I just say it's sunny in Chicago, but it's also really cold. I think Gigi just told me. I don't even know the weather myself, but she said something about 2 degrees. So I say, yeah, that could possibly be here in Chicago. So hey, I am still excited. Still a good day to tell the world about Wakana. You are here at the Diamond Factory. My name is Phyllis Nash, and I'm your CSO as well as one of the co-founders. And I am bringing to you our VP of Training and Development. He is out in Vegas. I don't know how much warmer it is there than it is here, but lucky you, you're not here in 2-degree weather. So without further ado, are you out there, Coach Dan? I know it's super early where you are, but are you out there to bring us some nuggets to carry us through this day?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I am grateful I am out here in Vegas as opposed to there in Chicago. No, really, I look forward to getting home tonight. I look forward to getting home tonight. Um, the truth of the matter is, I believe that winter builds character. I believe
What?
that I believe that winter builds character
Oh,
because
I'm with you.
what a winter season does, it gives you discipline, right? A winter season not only does it gives you discipline, but a winter season also builds capacity. It gives you discipline and it builds capacity. And winter seasons also prepares you for summer. And I'm that's not what I'm talking about today, but I just want to float that as a balloon and encourage those of you that struggle with winter to embrace winter, because if winter doesn't happen in your life, summer can never take place. There it is, because winter prepares the ground for the harvest to come in the summertime. Now, that being said, I'm gonna move on to next. That's the next. We'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about seasons. But this week, uh, good morning, my Miss Phyllis Nash, the one, the wonderful, the fantabulous, the absolutely amazing, the stunning, the midwife, the CSO, the co-founder of this wonderful, wonderful organization called Wakana. We salute you and all of the other co-founders for all that you guys do, gals do, in order to help all of us become better as we all journey together for legacy, wealth, um, health, and freedom. Now, check this out. This morning, I want to talk about something that may be a little painful. This morning, I want to talk about something that may be a little challenging. But this morning, I want to talk about something that's very necessary. And what I want to talk about this morning, and I know Miss Phyllis normally tells you to get your pen and your paper out, get ready to take some notes. And to be honest with you, these notes that you're going to take, um, we got to commit them to your heart. You got to commit them to your mind so that you will do the work. Because these notes that I'm going to give you this morning is going to require some work. And it's not going to be require work on other people. It's not going to require work on picking up the phone, calling this person and that person. But the truth of the matter is, this morning, the message that I have for you is all about you, and it's necessary. And what I want to talk to you about this morning is the necessity of separation. Let me say that one more time. The necessity of separation. Two of the hardest, most difficult things for me in my life is Coach Dan talking to you about his life. Some of you may be able to relate. If we was in church, I ask you to talk back to me. If we was in a room together, I ask you to raise your hand. Um, but 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 two of the most difficult things for me in my life is the is the thing about letting go or being let go. Two most difficult things that I have is letting go or being let go. One of them is tied to rejection. I don't want to be let go. And then one of them is tied to codependency. It's hard to let go. And sometimes we hold on to things longer than we should because we don't know how to separate ourselves from them. And there's three entities that we must learn how to separate ourselves from if we are going to be successful in any aspect of our lives, especially in business. I'm here in Las Vegas speaking to a group of senior leaders from all across the country at this Winter Leadership Summit. And one of the things I talked about at my session yesterday was the need to separate. And I didn't give them this information that I'm giving you this morning. But one of the things that I shared, but what I want to share with you is we must learn, there's three things we must learn how to separate from. The first thing we must learn how to separate from is emotions. What do you mean? Well, the truth of the matter is, if we lived our lives out of sheer emotions, then our lives will be lives of chaos because our emotions run rapid. Our emotions they run the book from one extreme to the next. So those of us that are married, that's on the line, the truth is, if we didn't learn how to separate ourselves from our emotions, we would have separated ourselves from our spouses a long time ago. The truth is, if saying I don't want to go outside because it's cold, or making those types of things, or saying because somebody told me no, I don't want to do this no more, or because I had a bad month, I don't want to do this no more. What I learned is if we don't learn how to separate ourselves from our emotions, it will cause us to abort, it will cause us to abandon, it will cause us to quit. What you talking about, Coach? Let me give you an example. Y'all know I like to teach from my kids, so I'm gonna talk from the book of Josiah. Yesterday, Josiah played in 2 basketball games. Some of you may know he plays on 6 different teams. And the first game, his school team won. They won by 13 points. Well, Josiah scored 80% of the team's points. The second game, which was the varsity game, the team lost. Now Josiah is in 5th grade, and so he's one of the shortest people on the varsity team because he's playing in the 7th and 8th graders. They lost. Josiah didn't score any points that game. He played well, but he didn't score any points. Josiah sends me a text. I asked him, how did things go? He said, bad. I said, what happened? He told me the scores. He told me that how many points he scored in the JV game. And then he says, I want to quit. I said, why do you want to quit? He said, I want to quit because, watch this, because I don't believe I get the credit that I deserve for all that I do for the team. He said, I scored 80% of the points. I'm the reason we won the game, and I got no credit. He says, whereas someone else scored only 1 or 2 points, and they got acknowledged as if they were carrying the team. I'm quitting. So now, because of his emotion, because it's his feeling of being unappreciated, his feeling of being rejected, his feeling of not succeeding in that moment, in that game, he says, I'm quitting. Whereas normally he says, this is my team. I'm going to help this team win. I'm going to, you see the difference. But what caused him to want to quit, that he was too attached to his emotions. What caused him to want to quit is that he was too attached to his feelings. And sometimes in business, you must separate yourself from your emotions so that you can stay focused and do good business. Here's the next piece. Are y'all ready for this? The second thing you must separate yourself from is excuses. Some of us allow ourselves to make too many excuses to keep us from doing what we say we want to do. I'll give you an example. I was getting ready to give it earlier. You heard Miss Phyllis say that it's freezing cold. It's cold in Chicago. But Miss Phyllis says that here's what I'm going to do. I got appointments. I got business to take care of. I'm going to layer up. I'm going to wrap myself in clothes in layers so that I can get out here and take care of business. Undoubtedly, some people say, no, I'm going to stop business. I'm not going to work today. It's too cold to go outside. I was talking to my assistant right before this call, and she said, well, does Josiah have school today? And I said, why do you ask that? She said, because they're saying some of the schools are closing because it's too cold. That's an excuse. So now we're already losing days because of COVID and all of that stuff. And now we're going to lose days because of the temperature. We got to learn how to separate ourselves from excuses. The third thing is get ready to bring this thing. So the first thing we got to separate ourselves from is emotions. Now, I'm not talking about separate yourself from passion. I'm not talking about separate yourself from excitement and enthusiasm. But you got to understand this. You can't give too much stock to that, because one day you'll have a victory and another you'll have a defeat. And you got to treat both victories and defeat the same. That's how you stay balanced. Because if you have too many high highs and too many low lows, you'll lead yourself into depression. Ooh, we'll talk about that another day. We'll talk about that another day. So number one, separate yourself from emotions. Number two, separate yourself from excuses. Here it is. This is where it's really going to hurt. Number three, separate yourself from everybody that is a hindrance or distraction that's from your purpose and your goal. You got to understand that you can't be attached to everybody, and you can't allow everybody to be attached to you, because they don't have what you have. They can't see what you see, and they're not willing to do what you do. And if they're not pushing you towards where you desire to go, then they're pulling you away from it. Not only everybody, but everything. Everything that is a hindrance to your moving forward, you got to separate yourself from. And sometimes that's difficult. I had to separate myself from childhood friends because our lifestyle as a child is a conflict of interest of my lifestyle as an adult. I had to separate myself from family members, because some of my family members became toxic to who I was and what I desired to do. Matter of fact, some of my family members reminded me so much of my pain as a child that I had to separate myself from, so I didn't get emotionally attached to their drama. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? This is just Coach Dan talking this morning about things he had to separate himself from. You know what you're going to have to separate yourself from. So the necessity of separation. Number one, separate yourself from emotions. Number two, separate yourself from excuses. Number three, separate yourself from everybody and everything that is a hindrance and that is a distraction from you reaching your goal and moving forward to accomplishing and fulfilling your dreams. I'm not done. I could do this all day today, this morning, but I'm going to stop right there. All right? All right. Well, listen, I want you guys
Awesome.
Go ahead, Miss Phyllis. Love you.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. You're right. You got to do it in spite of your emotions. You got to put them aside, and it never goes away. You know, you can work on it. You can get better at it. But, you know, when you recognize, this is my emotions, let me get that out of the way so I can go on and take care of my business the way it should be done. So, you know, still all these years later, my emotions come up sometimes, but it's knowing how to deal with it and let yourself know that keep it moving, because it's only your emotions. And being around like-minded people going in the same direction that you want to go to. So it helps so much, Coach Dan. So I really like our relationship. I like that you like to level up and you like to keep on talking about how so many other people you can take them with you. So thank you for that. Today is Wednesday. I got 2 texts while we were on the line from our own president and Gigi to tell me, no, it's not 2 degrees, Dan. It is 2 below zero. So same thing, I'm gonna layer up. This is Wednesday. We do have training. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, you've been light on that training. You know, we take our time, we bring it to you. And it's like if I knew you guys had all the knowledge you needed to keep moving your business to the next level. Hey, if you were doing hitting CV and hitting rank and all of that, I would say, yeah, you might not need this training. Maybe we need to up our game. Or if you're not filling up those calls, sharing with this the world what we're doing here at Wakana and how your business can go to the next level, you know, get out of your comfort zone and do something different. Fill that Wednesday night call up, because that's another opportunity to show what we're doing here at Wakana. So let's step it up, guys. Bring more people out. And with that being said, I'm going to bid you all a great Wakana kind of day. If you're anywhere in the nation that's cold, just layer up. And if you are experiencing warm weather, just be grateful. And I am grateful because, hey, there are people in Mexico. I mean, not listen to me, Mexico. There are people in Alaska that are in Minnesota and some of those other where is that place where they did Fargo, that movie? It's always cold there. Hey, it's only 2 below here. I'm going to do this thing. Okay? Have a great day. Bye. Thanks, Coach Dan. I'm just rambling. I'm excited.
Great job.
Yes, Dr.
Bye.
Bye.